I remember was that dramatic 3-3 draw with Brighton. Well, Pompey went to Yorkshire searching for their first away win of the season and with history on their side with their last league defeat to Leeds some 21 years ago. Your commentator for this one, Mike Sewell.
The unseasonably hot weather lends itself more to an opening day fixture rather than one in early October. Given these clubs' lukewarm starts to their respective campaigns, they would probably take the opportunity to restart their seasons if they could. At least Leeds have a hot shot in Ross McCormack. 9 goals in 11 appearances means he keeps the now fit again Luciano Becchio on the bench. Leeds show only one change from their dramatic 3-3 draw at Brighton. Right back Paul Connolly comes in for his second league appearance of the season at the expense of Lee Bromby. Steve Cottrell's Portsmouth were caught cold in their last-minute home defeat by Peterborough on Tuesday. His only change is in goal, where Stephen Henderson makes his first league appearance for the club. The 23-year-old comes from a family of keepers. Grandfather, father and 2 uncles all play to a respectable level. Plenty of touches across the back for Leeds until they finally try and play a ball forward, which on this occasion works. And here's Snodgrass. Support from Keogh to his right. Snodgrass goes alone, cuts it back, and McCormack, feeling that he might have scored his 10th goal of the season, looks to the sunny skies in disbelief. McCormack denied by Greg Halford. But Snodgrass's run, good work by him. He could have opted to go wide to Keogh. Instead, he spotted McCormack, and it was the outstretched leg which denied him. Snodgrass's corner, deep into the heart of the penalty area, and this one is headed into the back of the net by Danny Pugh. Joining the club on loan from Stoke, it's Pugh who scores his first goal for Leeds United. Well, there'll be questions asked in the Portsmouth defence as Snodgrass's looping corner came in, and certainly one Portsmouth player had his head in his hands as Pugh just roamed into the 6-yard area and powered his header past Henderson, and that's no more than Leeds deserve for the pressure they've applied. Virtually on his knees there as he headed in past a motionless Henderson. Good work down the right between Ward and Risa. It's the right back again, low ball towards the near post, which is dealt with well by Leeds. And for the first time, Portsmouth actually create something. Into the area, again, it's not very troublesome, and Lonergan can deal with that and spread play immediately towards Snodgrass. Often the outlet. Snodgrass has got 2 players running into the penalty area. Goes inside, then outside, and then tries the shot across Henderson and just wide of the far post. And Leeds are threatening to double their advantage. Again, Snodgrass with plenty of space to exploit down the Leeds right. Not being pressed, not being challenged, and almost making Portsmouth pay. Falls rather kindly though for Connolly, and now Leeds can again make use of the space down there right, and it's Snodgrass coming forward. He's got Pugh on the overlap. Pugh looking for a second goal here. Tries the ball in, which is deflected off a defender. It was Pearce sliding in ahead of his goalkeeper to deny Danny Pugh a second goal. Well, Leeds not afraid to move play from right to left. Lawrence fouled by Connolly. Well, there we go. If you want to keep hydrated, you know where to go. Portsmouth captain then to take the free kick. Headed in, chance for Halford. Lonergan makes a save with his outstretched right hand In comes Halford again with a header. This time it strikes the crossbar and it's cleared by Leeds United. Certainly the most dangerous Portsmouth have looked. Header cross towards him, he was unmarked, he just looped a header towards the far post, which Lonergan did well to save, and then at the second attempt, Halford again getting above the Leeds defence, this time denied by the crossbar. Ben Haim just clipping the heels of Ross McCormack. Rather mercilessly, Tal Ben Haim, the Israeli. McCormack going about his business and giving it away. Here's McCormack into the area, tight angle, and again Portsmouth have to clear their lines, and it's Hayden Mullins from Ross McCormack, and Portsmouth just weren't ready for that free kick. Taken quickly, Snodgrass through a gap around the Portsmouth defence, and had it not been for Hayden Mullins, Andy Keogh will have made it 2-0 to Leeds United. If they're hot, the players will be feeling it as well. Benjani has got one goal since his return to Portsmouth. Ward up to Kanu, another neat layoff by the Nigerian. That's a decent ball in. Norris in space, out comes Lonergan. Norris goes down, and that's going to be a goal kick because it was the midfielder who got the last touch. This is a good start to the second half by Portsmouth, who were fairly disappointing throughout the first. Alford can hit them from distance, not space. There's a ball through though, into space. Ward with the poke with his right leg, and it's just over Lonergan's crossbar. And of all people to be in that position on the field with a strike at goal, it's the right back Joel Ward. Mullins now playing in a more defensive role as Ben Haim has now been sacrificed, with Portsmouth pushing further forward. Rocha, it's going to be easily met by O'D. Becchio, was he offside? No. Borsell in the D, switches feet, left-footed, good save by Henderson. Forsell with a very flight of foot step over, creating space and forcing a save out of Stephen Henderson. Well, he might be 30 years of age, but quick feet, good strike by Forsell. And that was the Forsell that fans of Chelsea and Birmingham remember. Portsmouth trailing here. Halford into the penalty area, cleared momentarily by Clayton. Lawrence, that one might even go over the head of Lonergan, who's forced to tip it over the crossbar. And initially he looked like he had it covered, and then suddenly the flight of the ball carried towards the far post, and a very worried looking Andy Lonergan was forced to tip that ball over his own crossbar. Danny, how does it feel to score the winning goal in a game where Leeds kept a clean sheet today?
Yeah, I think that's probably the more important thing, keeping a clean sheet. But to get the goal as well as a bonus and the 3 points was a good day, really.
In the first half, we found it hard to get going. I mean, they looked the fresher team. They looked like they'd not played in 8 days, and we looked like it was our third game in 8 days. Managed to get in there at half time, you know, regroup them again and try and get them going. And we've got going enough in the second half, I feel, to maybe got something out of the game.
This championship's relentless, isn't it? And they're a very good side, Portsmouth. And they came out second half, got the bit between the teeth, made a change, brought Kanu on. It's a side packed full of good players. So in the end, we weathered the storm, and it's a well-earned 3 points.
Yeah, so 3 points for Leeds, and I suppose Simon Grayson and Ian Miller will be just as pleased with their first clean sheet in, 12 games in all competitions. It's long overdue.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as we've said before, it's very difficult to win games of football if you're conceding, you know, and you're starting from that sort of disadvantage. But no, they've kept a clean sheet. They had to dig in second half, certainly. And he'll be very, very pleased. And all of a sudden, you just think another team where things are starting on the turn and some positive vibes coming out of there now.
Portsmouth, no doubt, will be disappointed conceding from a set piece, but from Danny Pugh, it was a good finish at the end, wasn't it?
It was. I think Greg Halford will wonder exactly what he's doing on the marking, because Danny Pugh runs across him, as you can see. Greg Halford's got his head in his hands, and he's rather static for that. But it's a good finish, and you've got a midfielder who's what? Good
6
6 foot. Yeah, so he's going to be in and around and he's going to attack that
Typically
ball.
built for Stoke football.
Yeah, and he comes off the back of Halford, and I think Halford just takes his eye off the ball, takes his eye off the play, and that's all it takes.
As for Portsmouth, 9 points now from the first 10 games. What's missing from them, do you think?
Well, I mean, certainly today they went one up front. They changed that in the second half,
Yeah,
and they were a lot
bring
more
on
positive.
Connor,
yeah, and it certainly, you know, they were far better second half. They've got some good players down there. Ian Miller said it, and he's right. There's some good players at the club. There's a fair level of expenditure gone out now.
I mean, that first 11 compares to the best
yeah,
of that division.
Very much so. I mean, now you know, there was always a lack of numbers. That's not the case anymore. So, you know, things have got to turn that, and they've got to turn quickly, and they've got to start getting results, because clearly this isn't a position that they would expect with that level of expenditure to be in.
So plenty for Pompey to address, but a great win for Leeds to build on. Well, let's round up the rest of the Championship, starting with Peterborough, who registered an impressive win at Portsmouth in the week. Well, on Saturday, the posh faced Doncaster, aiming to continue their revival under their new boss, Dean Saunders.
A win and a draw has hinted at something of a recovery for Doncaster since Dean Saunders took over. Next up, a trip to Peterborough. Posh manager Darren Ferguson kept faith with the same 11 who snatched a late draw at Pompey during the week, and they started well. So when Grant McCann's strike was too powerful for Neil Sullivan, the lead was fully deserved. Full of confidence after that goal, McCann had a go from a free kick. But Peterborough's defensive record suggested that Donny could find a way back into the game. The hosts had yet to keep a clean sheet this season, and a Brian Stock strike made sure that that run continued. As for Rovers, well, they hadn't even won a point on their travels, but they were energised by that goal. John Parkin was a whisker away from giving the visitors the lead. Having ended a 19-match winless run in the Championship, the confidence is creeping back into this Donny team, and Kyle Bennett took advantage of some generous Posh defending to score his first league goal for the club. The visitors had to ride their luck as they searched for that elusive first away win. A quickly taken free kick gave Tommy Rowe a chance to equalise, but he struck the post. As did Paul Taylor when he managed to fashion himself a shooting opportunity in the closing stages. But it's now 2 wins and a draw under Dean of the Rovers.
We were trying to play football in the full length of the pitch, and we couldn't. We were getting overrun, so we tried to drop off a little bit and try and contain them and catch them on the break, and we managed to do it.
Blackpool had to do without the touchline presence of manager Ian Holloway for their home game with Bristol City. Holloway was confined to the stands following a dispute with an official after their midweek draw with Coventry. Not that it seemed to matter, the hosts were in front just before the break. John Joe Shelby's long-range shot proved too hot to handle for Dean Gherkin, and Gary Taylor